Hello there and welcome to the Impact Zone podcast. We are back to talk more TNA wrestling shenanigans, and now we are going to be talking about Mike Santana possibly, and I use that word as the key word, possibly coming into TNA. Now, this isn't actually the article that I think I was looking for specifically in regards to this, but it's pretty close to the right article. It actually has a picture of Mr. Santana here as well, looking very, very, very good there. Very, very... very, very charismatic there and whatnot. So, as I was saying, this is heavily rumored. This is heavily speculated. So, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. In fact, take it with a, a bowl of salt. Take it with any amount of salt that you want, because this is not a confirmed thing. But from what we have heard, apparently there is some potential, at least on the surface, for Santana to be coming back to TNA. There have been some discussions after his departure from AEW. Alright, actually, I just was really a bit annoyed by the fact that I couldn't really find the article, but this is the article I believe here. So it goes into much more detail than what I'm going to go into in regards to, this. I'm just mainly going to be talking about the rumors and whatnot, and the potential, I guess. So if you want to read this article, or any articles that relate to this, you can go and check it out for yourself. But anyway, at least I think this is the right article. It was actually really annoying me. But anyway, so, like Mike Santana, like we know, again, that he was a great tag team wrestler, and, like, I think he has a lot of potential. I really do. I think he if TNA can pick him up, like this is something that I heard that he sort of said on the Chris Van Vliet interview that he did just after leaving AEW, that he doesn't want to be just another face in the crowd. And yes, perhaps for a short period of time, he kind of would be another face in the crowd to a degree, to a very small degree, but honestly, I don't think he would. I think he would be his own guy very much. He wouldn't just be there. He would be, on the tracks to, becoming an upper mid-card guy, or one of the top guys, if not the guy in the company, or one of the top, 2 or 3 guys in the company, at least. He would definitely, in my opinion, within a year or so, be the world heavyweight champion, or the world champion. I keep calling it the heavyweight champion, though it's not the heavyweight championship anymore. But still, I feel like he could fit into that upper mid-card role very easily, and he could, within a year's worth of build, be one of the top guys, if not be the champion. And, from my perspective, if he wants to do that, if he doesn't want to just be, another face in the crowd, yes, he could go to New Japan. He could try his luck there, and whatnot. But really, that's all in Japan for the most part, 90-odd%. Yes, most of, wrestling for Impact or AEW or WWE or what have you is mostly stateside, but still, you do get opportunities out there and about there sometimes as well. So it is what it is. But anyway, I think, TNA going after and offering him a contract, which has been apparently rumored to come in and work, is very good. Like that, this is one thing that I've been a little bit tentative with about Anthem, but like if like we know Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley are leaving, we know a couple of other people have kind of left and whatnot, so there's a bit more money kind of floating around right now in TNA for some new people, and like Santana would be a great addition to that roster, like as a single star. Like I don't think he fits quite into the X division. Maybe he could make that work. I think it works better than someone like Jake something. I mean, Jake something could fit into the X division, but he really needs to find his X division style. I don't think he's really got that quite yet. You know, so, but anyway, this is not about him. But anyway, like I just don't see him being in that X division. It doesn't really make much sense to me for him to be in that position. It wouldn't hurt him per se, but like I don't know. It's tough to think about like him doing that. I don't think he needs to do that. I don't like. I think that he would be an upper mid-card guy and is certainly well worth looking at being one of the top guys very quickly, as I sort of said. But, like, where do you start him? I don't think you want to start him as, like, the digital media champion. Although, again, I keep thinking, you know, the digital media champion, you really need to be engaging on the digital media. But honestly, realistically, the digital media title is just a TV title, but, you know, for the new age, which is the digital space. So that's what it is. It's a mid-card title that, you know, anyone could and should be able to hold. So that could work. That could be all right. I don't like he could win that in a few months probably. He can't win it on his first few nights. I don't think. That's not the way I think it should go. That's just me. The dude's a pretty young guy. I don't know how old he is. I had to look it up. He's 33 years old, so still kind of pretty young. I think he's pretty young. I think he's got a lot of good years left, dude. So, like, I think that's why I say again, he's really starting to hit his peak now, probably. So, I think he could be easily a champion anywhere he goes. Like, at least in my opinion, that's the smartest thing to do with him. Like, he's a guy that you could build around. Like, if you actually, you know, pulled your thumb out and said, okay, we're gonna do something with this guy. Because even though he might not be the next Eddie Guerrero or the next Rey Mysterio, like, he's the next Mike Santana. Like, no one's the next Hulk Hogan, realistically speaking. But then there's the next Steve Austin, you know what I mean? Like, there's always someone else that you can sort of compare sort of some things and some aspects to, but it's not really fair to compare, like, someone just to being like the next Rey Mysterio, especially when they're Latin. It's like, well, that doesn't matter. Like, if they're Latin, like, that's cool, like, or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like, if you just make the next superstar a Latin star, it doesn't matter who you're comparing them to. You could compare them to Hulk Hogan or Sting or whoever. Like, so it doesn't matter their ethnicity or whatever, in my opinion. You should just be trying to make the biggest star possible that you can with who you've got. And if they happen to be Latin or whatever, or African American or whatever else it is, then that is that. Like, again, like, if they've got the skill set inside those ropes, and if they've got the charisma and whatnot to get over, and, you know, if you've got some good creative plans and character work that you can do with them, you know, like, what, it doesn't matter race or ethnicity or whatever. That stuff doesn't really matter, and you shouldn't be just comparing somebody like to saying, oh, this is a Latin star or whatever, so we're going to compare him to other Latin stars. Yeah, you can, again, obviously, because you start saying, well, what about other Latin stars? Well, these other Latin stars have done really well, so he could do really well. Yeah, but he's a person, first and foremost. Look at what he's actually got. His actual charisma, natural charisma, and his athleticism, his ability to work in that ring. It doesn't matter what ethnicity he is. He's doing his, heritage proud. That's cool, whatnot. But beyond that, you shouldn't be looking at just, oh, this guy's that, Latin, so we'll compare him to Rey Mysterio. No, I don't care. You can, as I sort of said, but I'd rather compare him to somebody, else as well. Like, you could compare him to literally anyone, and you should do that with literally everyone and anyone anyway. You shouldn't just compare them to other African American stars or whoever or whatever. Again, it should just be comparing them to other stars or whatever. That Anyway, I've rambled on about that enough, I think. But still, yeah, like, I really think that this is a good thing. There can't, like, if he doesn't come in, he doesn't come in. Like, again, I said, like, I think, like, if he does come in, though, if I'm gonna keep pushing that, because, again, I don't want anyone to be like, oh, this is confirmed. I don't want to get it confirmed in my own head as well a little bit and then be disappointed if it doesn't happen. I'm not going to think like that. I'm just going to think, well, if it happens, I'll, be happy. I'll be like, oh, yeah, cool. Let's see where this fucking goes, let's go, But if not, then I'm just going to sit by and go, okay, well, he hasn't come in, so we'll wait and see. Like, maybe he'll come in. Like, again, that's one of those things. You never believe anything until it kind of happens. Like, when people say, oh, Nick Nemeth joined New Japan, so there's a 0 chance now he's coming to TNA. I was like, well, let's just wait and see what's going to happen. And then he turned up in TNA. And I was like, yes, he's in TNA, yes! And I was surprised and happy that he was in TNA. And all of that, because I was like, I didn't, doom and gloom myself into thinking, oh, he's not coming or whatever, or whatever. I kept my mind open and was like, oh, okay, if he comes, he comes. And I'll be happy if he comes, but if he doesn't come, then he doesn't come. Like, I'm not going to be mad if he doesn't come. I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. But again, like, like, if he doesn't come at the end of the day, hopefully they can do something without him or whatever, or they can do something else. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and bitch and moan and whatever about it, but I just cross my fingers and hope. So same thing here. Like, I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope he does turn up. And in my opinion, as I was to say, the best time and place for him to turn up right now is probably Rebellion. Like, Rebellion is coming, and that's the first live event that they've got coming up. And yes, I know that's like a couple of weeks away now, but that's only a couple of it's only a couple of weeks away. So it's not, honestly, not that far away, guys. Like, so it's insane to me to kind of think, like, some people will think, oh, that's a few weeks away. Yes, it's a few weeks away, but it's only a few weeks away as well. So, like, yeah. But a lot can happen in a week or whatever. But still, it's one of those things about how it all works and whatnot. So we'll have to keep our eyes on this. And yeah, I'm certainly here for this. Like, absolutely. Like I sort of said, like, I just don't see anything that like could be a problem, honestly. Like, I really don't. Like, people who say, he's going from AEW Dynamite or whatever. I don't even think he was on Dynamite that much. Maybe he was on Dynamite in the first, like, year or whatever it was. I don't know. But people are just saying, oh, he's going from Dynamite or going from AEW at least to going to TNA with two people and a dog watching or whatever it is. Those sorts of people who are just doom and gloomers and whatnot, or people who are just drinking the Kool-Aid effectively. Like, stuff them, people. Literally. Screw those people. Again, the idea that, again, this is like, again, the thing that always comes up, that you know, like when the Motor City Machine Guns contracts were up, it was like everyone and their dog was saying, oh, I hope they're coming to here, I hope they're coming here, I hope they're coming here, you know, I hope they're coming to WWE, I hope they're coming to AEW, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, why? And they're like, oh, because they had such a great run in TNA, I bet they could have a great run over here. So you did watch TNA. And then it's like, you know, like, so you did see what people are doing in TNA. You know, like, oh no, I only read the reports or something. What? But then you can tell me how good of a match they had or something, you know, like, oh, I love this spot they did in this match. So you watched it. You know, so it's really weird when people kind of go, oh, two people and a dog watch it or whatever, but they watch it, you know, and then they have to kind of go, oh, no, don't secretly watch it or whatever, and things like that. Like all these doom and gloomers are always like, you know, effectively helping the company more than they're hindering it, because like a lot of the time, they're caught out in that lie of saying, you know, um, you know, two people and a dog watched it. Oh, but I saw the Motor City Machine Guns and I hope they're coming to AEW. Well, how do you know that you want them? Like, or whatever. Like, or WWE, again, like I said, like, whatever. How do you know you want them? Oh, because they had a really good run in so you must have watched their run in TNA. You know, like, things like that. It's always really weird, but whatever. It is what it is. As I say, I don't try to get into the arguments and stuff like that anymore. I can't be bothered with all of it. It's just like, if you're one of those people that are just kind of like trying to doom and gloom it or trying to, you know, negate it, and that's one of those things that happens a lot. Like that they've done, like, in the last few years or whatever, they've either like some of these wrestling channels have posted videos that were completely out of date or reposted videos that were out of date, you know, like the rise and fall of TNA, which was posted like, or reposted like 2 years ago or whatever. It was like, that's making it sound like it's a dead company, but it couldn't be more alive, so you're just now trying to shoot them in the foot even further. But I thought you guys cared about the wrestling industry, but obviously not, Cultaholic. You only care when it suits you, or when you're getting the money, or whatever. So, again, when it suits you, effectively. But still, I don't get into all of that nonsense and such and whatnot. So, yes, again, like, I don't like going into all the stuff. Yes, they've had problems. Of course they have. Every wrestling company's had problems. Jesus. You think no wrestling company's ever had problems? What about your fucking wrestling promotion that you guys have? How's that going? That promotion's fucking dead as fucking shit. And it's fucking never done not even a quarter of what TNA's done. So, until you, like, to me, I'm always the put up or shut up person. If you can't do better, then fuck right off. You know, prove to me that you can do better, and then maybe I'll half listen to you. You know, like, And that's another thing that people come on here and do. Yes, I know I've got to improve some things, but unless you're an actual, proper YouTuber, I'm probably not going to listen too hard. Because, especially to not constructive stuff, it's like, well, then you go and form your own YouTube and podcast channel. Do better. I'm not trying to be nasty about that. If you do better, then good for you. If you don't and don't get up off your ass to actually do something, then I can't listen because I'm doing more than you. So I'm actually doing it. But anyway, guys, that is that. I don't want to go on about these things too much, but some things in these little things that people come in with and say, and that is really annoying sometimes. And I want to try to put them to bed sometimes, and just put that out there to say, hey, well, you know what? I'm actually friggin' doing something, and it doesn't look like you are. So until you are doing better than what I'm doing, I'm probably not going to listen, dude. So, if you've got constructive criticism or you're helpful or whatever, that's different. But if you're just saying, oh, this is shit and that's shit, you look shit, that's shit, etc., all this crap, no, I'm not listening then. But whatever, you guys can let me know what you think, if it's nice and positive or if it's constructive or whatever. Write your thoughts down there in the comments below. Hope you've enjoyed this, even though I've rambled on a little bit there and whatnot, and hope you'll join me again in another one.